What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of The Potential Project. I'm your host, Sean Calhoun, and I hope you're having an amazing Tuesday today. So, my message on this week's episode is going to be about something that I was pondering and kind of was teaching myself a lesson on, and it happened in a weird way. So, overall, I use a journal daily, right? It's got prompts in there. It gives me things to reflect on from the day. It maps out, every half an hour where I'm going to be at. It's a pretty good journal, right? So in the prompt at nighttime, it has a question. It says, if you were your own high performance coach, what would you say about today? And that's when the light bulb moment went off for me. Now, I'm not talking about light bulb moment where I thought of some $1 million invention or I'm going to save the world, but it might be something that can help you out in life, get through a rut or a struggle that you're having. So the light bulb that went off was that I am my own problem, right? We have different areas in life that we're trying to work on, whether it be your health, your fitness, your family, your finances. I talk about these areas, right? Because they're the main core areas of focus in life. And odds are you might be struggling in one of them, right? Maybe you're trying to lose weight. Maybe you're not at the spot in your career or with your finances that you'd like to be at. And you'd like to improve that, but man, things seem to be tough, right? You can't seem to figure it out. You've tried a lot of things and you don't know what to do to get there, right? So I thought to myself, if I'm struggling in other areas of my life, maybe what have I done good at, right? What have I succeeded in? And I thought about how I coach people in health and fitness, right? So I have people message me about their progress, right? Ooh, the number on the scale went up a little bit, or they're frustrated with certain things and they don't see the results as fast as they would like, even though it's only been a short amount of time. And me, since I've been there and I've done it and I've been training for quite a long time now, I can see through that. I can see through the fog and say, hey, if you just stick with it, if you just keep coming to your workouts, if you just keep drinking your water and you keep eating your clean foods, I promise you, you're going to get there. It might not be in a week. Depending on how much weight you have to lose or what your goal is, it might take a year. It might take 2 years. But I promise if you stay on this path and stick to those basics, you're going to get there. Right. So I'm looking at myself as a coach in the fitness space. And I'm thinking, if these people are coming to me with for help, if they're coming to me with situations and problems that they're having, how would I coach them? Right. Because of the prompt in the journal. I'm like, how would I coach those other people? And I'd say those things. I'd say the basics is you got to work out 3 to 4 times a week. I'd say drink your half your body weight in water, and eat clean whole foods, right? If you were to boil it down and all the other things in life can happen. We're busy, things happen. If you just stick with those basics, you are going to make progress towards your goal. So, my point in saying that is things happen. We get discouraged and you're busy. Someone in your family dies. Like life is going to happen. No, what? There's going to be ebbs and flows. And when that happens, we divert our consistency from the basics, right? You had a busy week at work, so you didn't work out at all that week. Something happened, so you forgot your water bottle at home and now you're not drinking enough water. You're stressed out, so you're going and eating dessert, right? So things in life cause us to get off track with the basics of success in that area. Losing weight, being healthy, building muscle, it is not complicated. I didn't say it was easy, but it's definitely not complicated. So when you're allowing these things in life to throw you off track, you get frustrated, right? Oh, I was busy, then I didn't work out, and now I'm not seeing the progress, right? So sticking to these basics is going to be the most important thing you can do. So for myself, what I did was, all right, how can I take this scenario that to me seems very simple? I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I've been there, I've coached people through it, and use this for other areas of life, right? Other areas like what are the basics? Maybe you do sales and you need to call leads. Like that's one of your basics, right? If we're comparing these things to working out, eating water and eating water, drinking water and eating clean to other areas, and like I said, if you're a salesperson, one of those things might be calling leads. If you are a manager, right, maybe you need to take certain meetings. If you are working on your relationship, maybe you need to schedule time, a date night with your significant other. Um, as a normal person, if you own a home, right, you need to clean the house regularly because what happens if these basics don't get done, right? If you're in sales and you're not doing the basics of calling leads, well, you're going to have fewer attempts to make sales and you're probably going to make less money. If you're a manager and you're not taking certain meetings, well, you're probably not going to have the communication cycle that you want within your team, and people are going to struggle to lift the team up and move forward. If you're trying to work on your relationship and you're not scheduling a date night with your significant other, well, your communication might go down there. The lust might go down, right? Your guy's spark might not be there because you're not showing that you're making your significant other significant anymore. You're just kind of living together. And we all know what happens if we don't clean the house, right? It starts to smell, there's bugs, there's ants, there's crumbs all over the place. Like we need to do these basic things. And cleaning the house, you might say, well, that's funny. Like, don't take me serious on that. But it's true. If you didn't have the standard and the basics of sweeping the floor once a week, well, then you'd have a lot of crumbs and food from your week of cooking in there. It's just a reality, right? So you have to look at other areas of life and say, hey, what are those basics? What are the needle moving things that I need to do? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because if you're like me and there's an area of your life where you've done well and there's an area in life that you're trying to improve, you can use these same principles and apply them to what's going on in your life, right? Like for me, I've succeeded in, you know, losing weight, keeping it off, keeping my body lean, and how I have a good amount of muscle. And I've found the way in my daily routines and my habits and in my standards that it just stays that way. So me to coach someone else, it seems easy. And I could say, yeah, I mean, of course, all you have to do is this. Whereas there might be someone who maybe they're struggling in their relationship and there's another person who's in a great loving relationship and they're like, what do you mean? This is easy. We do a date night once a week. We turn our phones off and talk with each other at nighttime, like those simple basic things. And they're like, what's so hard about a relationship? Well, to the other person who's struggling in whatever area in life, it doesn't seem so easy. Their mindset is not yet there. And then life happens, right? Like I said, you get busy, you get a flat tire, someone in your family dies, and this throws you off the basics. Hey, I got really busy at work, so wasn't able to make the date night with my wife, and that throws off. And then 2 weeks later, it's not even a thing anymore, right? We're not even doing that anymore. I see this time and time again with health and fitness, right? Things happen. You don't come to one workout, you don't come for a week, and then all of a sudden we don't even do it at all anymore. And we wonder why we've been trying and trying and trying for years to lose weight, but we're losing track of the basics. So my goal and my hope for you um, is that you hear this and you say, you know what? It doesn't have to be complicated. I can I love to journal. I say this in every episode, but like find out what you've been successful in. Maybe you were an amazing athlete. Maybe you are great at taking tests. Maybe you're a great parent and write those things down. What are the basics? What are the things that you did or do currently to make you such a success in that area? And if you're like, oh, well, my life sucks and I'm not good at anything, I promise you, you've done great at one thing, no matter how small it is. Maybe you played an instrument when you were a kid. Like, what were the things that made you so successful in that area and write them down? Now take the area that you are struggling in, or maybe not struggling, but just not up to your potential or where you want to be at, and kind of be real with yourself, right? Lay out the things that you know you need to do on a daily, weekly, yearly basis. What are the tasks or what are the events and things that you need to do and write them out and say, like, okay, if I just stick with those, I know because I've been successful in the other area that it might take some time, but let me just always fall back on these basics. Let me create these as my standards and let those be my guiding light to clear through the fog and to be able to see past all of the stuff that happens, all of the ebbs and flows and the roller coaster of life, and get you back on track. Right? I say the fog because when you're driving, if there's fog out, you can't see anything. But for someone who's been there before, it seems to be a clear path, right? They seem to know exactly where they're going. They can see the road ahead and they know what to expect and how to get there. For you, it might seem like you're driving at nighttime with fog and you can't even see 2 feet in front of you and it stresses you out. You start trying different things, talking negatively to yourself. Why can't you figure this out? And it just is a bad spiral, which leads to anxiety. So I wanted to make this one quick today. I didn't want to blabber on about too much, but I hope you understand this point that you are and were successful in one area of your life. So I want you to take that, find the basics, and coach yourself, right? There is nothing wrong with seeking help and guidance and mentorship and learning from those who are ahead of us or already have what we want and allowing them to guide us through so we don't make the same mistakes they did. But guess what? I don't think you give yourself enough credit to know that you probably know what you need to do. You probably have a lot of the answers, but our mind is cluttered with a bunch of stuff like, what am I doing wrong? I can't believe this. What do I need to change? You probably know, and you probably need to sit down and get the basics out and eliminate all the fluff and all the fancy shiny stuff that you're trying and just boil it down and stick to that. Right? This way at the end of every night you can sit down and ask yourself, "Hey, if you were your own coach, which you now are, what would you say about the day? What would you improve upon? What would you change?" And you can always revert back to those basics and then get step by step ahead towards your goal and eventually get there, whether it's a week, a month, or a year. So I leave you with this, guys. I hope that message resonated with you, and I hope you're able to take it and apply it in an area in your life that you want to improve. If you enjoyed the message, if you are enjoying the show in general, please like, subscribe, and please share this, right? All I do is post it on social media. So if you have a friend who you want to text it to, who's been dealing with a problem, or you just think would enjoy my message, please share it with them. Leave a comment, leave a review. I am eternally grateful for all of you guys who listen to this. And until next time, go be great. Go have a good day.